for those that weren't, my and my company's challenge is the introduction of new laws into the United Kingdom that are going to mean that people can't look at adult material, i.e. online porn sites, unless they have been age verified. Now, as a politician, that sounds fantastic. We'll stop that porn for their kids. The challenge is, in the real world and in the technical world, the sheer volume of people that need to be verified. Somewhere in the region of 25 million people in a year, let alone all the tourists and businessmen and workers that can still get in around Brexit that come to the UK. That's one side of the equation. The other side of the equation is the sheer number of websites that will need verification. Sky Broadband hold a database of roughly 4.5 million URLs. Now, even if their censors have been a bit oversensitive, and let's cut it in half and say it's 2 million URLs, it is a lot of websites that are going to need to have age verification in place. So, what I'm going to do is to show you one of the methods that we use today, which is utilising your mobile phone. We need to be able to use this technology once, because in the environment of adult, unlike me having a mobile phone delivered, which I want to receive, if I want to get access to adult material, I just want to look at adult material. So I need a methodology where I can be age verified once, but then I can look at as much stuff as I want to. The government set us some other clever tasks. Amongst them were, you mustn't know the identity of the person wanting to get access to the material, and you mustn't hold a database of the people wanting to get access to the material. So it's all about anonymity, which is another challenge. So I just need to know you are over 18. I don't need to know if you're male or female, or where you live, or what site you've come from. I just need to verify that point. Now, we've been running gateways for quite some time for age verification, and I'm short enough as it is, I'm going to have to kneel to do this. What I'm going to do is enter in my mobile phone number, and please don't take pictures and start sending me investment opportunities. So if I enter my mobile phone number, let's make sure it's the right one. Okay, so the only piece of data I've given over as a consumer is my mobile phone number. And in a moment, if I've got a mobile phone signal, this phone will go off, which it just has because it's on silent. It wasn't very clever, was it? And what I've received is a text message, and the text message is going to ask me to send a message back. So just bear with me, and I'll do that. Take the message. So here's a message that's come through on my phone, okay? It's asking me to send the word verify. So it's happened. So currently that text message is bounced around the mobile network, and it's detected that this phone is unlocked or is owned by someone who's over the age of 18. We're very lucky in the United Kingdom that we have a database of mobile phones that have their age verification barred. So it comes long before Wi-Fi. Some of us older people used to look at data over the mobile phone network, and the mobile phone operators very quickly decided to control what was floating around that network. And if you wish to view material that's either gaming, gambling, or adult content, you had to make sure that your phone number was unlocked to receive that. So we're interrogating the database to do that. So we've got the ability to check someone's age, but the challenge is, once I've done that, what do I do with that information? There's no way that we're going to be in a situation where I'm going to be doing text messages every time I look at a different website. I'm not going to get much of an experience that way. I'm going to need a method that's seamless, that I can be verified once, and then that will give me the right to see any site that I want to. And in the process of running these sites, we run this sort of technology in the TV world. There's regulations around TV. It's quite low volumes. When we started looking at this problem in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of cases of instances of people who want to remain anonymous, who are looking at this material in the semi-darkness usually, late at night, maybe with a few drinks inside them, we need technology that works very well. So we got involved with Keyp, and we have developed with their technical kit team the ability for us to issue Keyp tokens that can then be used to control sessions on the internet. So the methodology we've moved to now is once you've done that verification process with a mobile phone, you can do it with a driving license, whatever, you will then have a token, a Keyp token. And that means that the system will now allow you to have an age-verified session. So the Keyp triggers an 18-pass session. And once you're in that session, you can look at as many participating sites as you wish to. It will control the duration of the session. We're waiting for finite details from the regulator about how long the session could remain open. You know, if your little sister walks in the room, how you're going to clean the screen down, all these sort of bits of detail that we need. But the principle that we can run an age-verified session, when we presented this to the UK regulator, we went to the regulator with the famous Keyp slide deck, which I'm sure I can get a visa with, I can get anything with it, it's like a magic key. When we presented the principle to the regulator, he was very, very impressed because they like the idea that for adults, and they're not trying to ban access to pornography. This is not some Christian right campaign to stop British citizens looking at adult material. What you look at in your own time is up to you, and the regulator really does understand that if there's adults in the house and they want to look at this stuff, make it as easy as possible. We're trying to stop children stumbling upon pornography. That's the key word, stumbling upon. And that's why government is allowing probability as a way of doing that, the probability that the person's over 18. It's not like a passport or an identity check. So, I'm now going to, drum roll please, I'm going to try and use a Keyp. Are we ready for this? Right, here we go. I'm digging in now. So let's get rid of the VeriMe bit. And let's get involved in the adult world. Now, for those faint-hearted, there are no naughty pictures behind this screen, okay? You're not going to see too much flesh when I use my Keyp. The first thing that the regulator liked with the Keyp environment, this sort of greyed out section at the back is the sort of experience that consumers will get. You can sort of see what it is, but it is of not a gratuitous nature. You come to the landing page. I'm going to use my phone and launch my Keyp app on it. Never try technology unless you're viewing adult material. Right. Let's have a look here. So, we have Keyp, and we're going to scan. Let's go. So here I am. I've got my company branding on there. We use the branding of VeriMe so that people can understand that this is a separate entity to the website. That's a big challenge. You do not want brand names on your mobile phone of websites. You know, maybe if you're a rapper, you're going to say, look at my Pornhub app, but most of the population want to keep it to themselves. So there we go. I'm off. Is it working, Jonathan?
Hopefully.
Here we go. Oh, I can see some girls. Right. So, it's very difficult to do the next bit because I'm supposed to open another screen. But as you can see, I've now gained access to that material. And while I'm in this environment, and I think screen is just hiding my logo at the bottom. Is it? Or is it at the top? Check. You should be seeing a logo down here, but that indicates that that is an adult session. Now, while I'm in this session over here, what I'm trying to show here is that I can look at Playmates, I can look at William Hill, I can buy a bottle of wine, I can do anything that I wish to within that 18 environment. Very impressive from a consumer point of view. I think it's going to overcome a number of objections to amongst the public about accessing material. The research that we're getting and the experience we've had for the last 3 years, I'll give you my password. There you go. Right, let's change my mind. There we are. And you can see that it's counting down in time here. It gives, one of the beauties of the whole Keyp ecosystem is that we can adapt to political and regulatory changes. At the moment, the regulator doesn't mind, does he, Jonathan? Where is he? He spoke to us about, keep it open as long as you like. The first time one of our friendly newspapers runs a story about someone's sister wandering in a room, there will be a timestamp on how long your session can remain open. But at the moment, they're talking of periods of 24 hours. But if we need to change, with Keyp we can change it without a big technical integration to do that. So that's the consumer's challenge. The other challenge is to the 4.5 million, 2 million, 1 million, however many websites there are out there. How do they onboard this technology? How do we get people in the ecosystem? Now, we have experience of doing this about 3 years ago. And one of the challenges is that most people who run an adult website do not have an IT team playing ping pong on the top of their head. Most of the sites were built many years ago, and all they're doing is updating content. They do not have the technical skills. They normally have someone called a web developer, but actually they usually turn out to be web designers. And they're not coders. But the system that Keyp developed for the back end enables us to be running almost a system similar to Google Analytics. The potential website client will go onto our website, enter some basic information, the system will generate some code. All they need to do with that code is cut and paste it, just like they would do with Google Analytics, into the header of the website, and they now have age verification. Not only on the landing page, but anything associated with that domain. And that is a big, big need. Most people, and I know no one in this room has ever looked at adult material, ever. I have, it's part of my job, unfortunately, which I keep telling my wife, is that most people search for adult material by what they're interested in. I went to a web conference a few months ago, and one of the speakers made a very sound statement: you never lie to Google. And if you think about it, you don't. You actually enter in what you're thinking you want. And believe you me, that also applies to the adult industry. So a lot of these websites, the big sites, have hundreds of thousands of URLs against genre in sites and on banner campaigns, and they need to protect themselves against some quite heavy regulatory framework that the British government put in place. So that if someone does Google girls on bikes in Amsterdam, that when that site appears, it has age verification in place. So the Keyp system enables us to run a service where we can actually make a website domain age verified for UK regulations, and that's quite a powerful marketing position for us to be in.